It's January, and you're about to do the thing that's going to set you up for failure for the next 12 months. You're going to set goals. Big, ambitious, exciting goals, revenue goals, client goals, growth goals, all the goals. And by February, you'll be behind. And by March, you'll feel like you're failing, and by April, you'll quietly abandon them and pretend you never set them in the first place. Unless you do the following. I'm Josh Liba, founder of Pathbrand, and I'm going to show you why goals without systems are just wishful thinking, and what to do instead. Now here's what happens. You sit down around December or maybe January 1st, and you think about where you want your business to be in the next 12 months. You pick a number, let's say 500K in revenue, or 100 new clients, or whatever your version of success looks like. You pick that number and you write it down. And if you're like me, it's all going to start Monday. Why? I don't know. Why don't we start new goals on Thursday? It feels wrong. But anyway, you set the goal. Next day, you wake up and you realize you have no idea what to actually do today to hit that goal. So you start trying new things, a new marketing strategy, a course on lead generation. Maybe you start to redesign your website. You're busy and you're working and you're hustling, but you're scattered. And here's the thing. Goals don't tell you what to do. Goals just tell you where you're supposed to end up. Which means every single day, you're measuring yourself against something that you have not achieved yet. And that is not motivating. It's actually exhausting. It's the opposite of motivating. So you're not falling behind because you're lazy. You're failing because you set goals instead of habits and systems. Here's how you turn any goal into a 3-step system that actually works. Step number 1 is to reverse engineer your goal into daily and weekly inputs. Take that 500K revenue goal that we talked about and work that backwards. What has to happen for you to hit that number? Let's say you need 50 clients at an average of 10K each. So to close 50 clients, then you probably need to talk to 200 prospects, right? Out of those 250 are going to buy. And let's say to talk to 200 prospects, you're going to want to generate at least 500 leads. Now you could break that down into how many people I need to talk to per day, divided by 365. But really you want to break it down into weekly actions because let's be realistic, you're not working holidays or every single day of the year. So if we break it down into a weekly metric, that's roughly 10 outreach messages per week. Maybe you produce 3 pieces of valuable content that attracts leads into your system, and you need to follow up 2 times per day on business days. That's your system. That's all you need to focus on for the next 3 months, at least. 10 messages, 3 content pieces, 2 follow-ups a day. And now for the hardest part. For the moment, you need to please forget the main goal. The 500K a year goal that you wrote down and you reverse engineered down into this system, erase it. It doesn't exist in your mind for the rest of this 3 months. Only the system exists. Now I know you may be thinking, but hold on a moment. Don't I need goals to stay motivated? Why don't I keep my goal on the top of my whiteboard or my fridge to motivate me to do the steps to get there? Isn't that my direction? Yes and no. Yes, you need direction. That's why we wrote down the goal in the first place and then broke it down. But real motivation doesn't come from the goal. Real motivation comes from progress. And you make progress by doing the small work each day consistently. If we were talking fitness, for example, which is another very common January goal, it'd be like continuing to think about the big goal. I got to lose 30 pounds, which I do. I got to lose 30 pounds. And that's the thing that you keep like top of mind the entire time. Got to lose those 30 pounds. But keeping that goal in mind will literally do nothing for you compared to focusing on what you have to do today. Today, I have to do 30 squats, right? The big goal will achieve itself. You'll lose the 30 pounds if you just continue to do the small stuff each day. If I do those 30 squats, next day I do 40. Next day I do 50. Your focus is only on the small daily stuff. So back to business. If we're talking about revenue gains, those daily inputs, those weekly accomplishments, that's what you focus on. The big revenue goal is just what happens when you do the inputs consistently, when you get your reps in. Step 2, you want to make your goal identity-based, not outcome-based. Goals are outcomes, what you want to get, but identity is who you want to be. So you don't say, I want to make 500,000 this year. You say, I am. I am the type of business owner who shows up in my marketing every single week. You can call it manifesting, you can call it what you want, but that's an identity-based shift. And when you act from identity, the behavior becomes automatic. You're not forcing yourself to post on LinkedIn because you feel like you should. You're posting because that's what you do. It's who you are. And this way you stop asking, am I there yet? And you start asking, did I show up today? Did I show up as the person that I want to be? And lastly, step number 3, you want to track inputs, not outcomes. And this is where most people mess up, myself included. They do steps 1 and 2, they build the system, but then they keep obsessing over the goal again. And then you begin to doubt the process. And that's where tracking comes in. Because remember, we said that motivation comes from progress. You need to be able to see forward movement, to visualize your progress in order to stay locked in. So there are things that you should check, and there are things that you shouldn't check. Let's start with what you shouldn't check. Stop checking your revenue every day. Stop refreshing your analytics. Stop measuring the outcomes. If you want to feel motivated, you want to measure the inputs instead, not the outcomes. Measure your reps. Did you do your 10 outreach messages this week? Did you create your 3 pieces of content? Did you follow up consistently, daily, weekly? If the answer is yes, then you succeeded. That's it. That's the entire game. The outcome will take care of itself. The goal will be self-fulfilling. Your job is just to show up and do the work on a daily and weekly basis. And when you track your habits like that, you can see proof that you're moving. Now, side note here, maybe you've tried habit tracking before and you're like, oh, it didn't stick for me. But the way that you track also matters. Now, I'm guilty of this too because I'm a data guy and I made it too complicated for myself. I set up everything that I wanted to achieve in a project management system with 15 columns of steps across multiple categories and 4 different status labels: morning routine, evening routine, meditation, journaling, exercise, business habits, and it was over-organized in the name of efficiency and tracking, but it became so complex that I stopped looking at it by week 3. So I overwhelmed myself trying to organize things. The reality is you don't need to track 47 habits. If it's too complicated, the progress gets lost in the sea of organization. You only need to track the 3 to 5 small daily or weekly steps that are actually going to move you toward your goal. And you don't need 4 status labels. They're either done or they're not. Everything else is just noise. So pick the inputs that matter, do them consistently, track your completion, not results. That's going to be your system for success. So here is your challenge. Don't set a goal, build a system. Pick 3 to 5 weekly actions that are going to move your business forward. Break them into simple daily habits and do them because that's who you are. It's part of your identity. Track your progress by checking those boxes. Did you do your 3 small steps today or not? Try your best to stay focused on progress, not the goal. Do that for at least 90 days before you evaluate how it's going, and I promise you, you're going to make more progress than you did all of last year chasing goals that you never hit. Now, if one of your goals is making a YouTube channel for your business, which I think you totally should, and you need a quick reminder of what not to do, you might want to watch this short video next.